How different does it feel going into, is this year 3 already?
Going into year
First
4.
of all, wow, that was quick. Second of all, just what is the difference between a couple of years ago versus now, just in terms of the outlook for you?
I mean, you just approach the game in a whole different perspective. Like the chemistry is different between you and the guys, but also like personally, like my wife and I really found our home in Indy, and like it makes such a difference to be able to come home to a place that you really feel comfortable in, and you know the area, you know some people, people outside of the building, and that just makes a huge impact on your mental as well. So I think that's probably the biggest difference, and that's just how comfortable you get with the game, with the speed, and the guys around you.
So that comfort does go over to the field and how you are able to settle in. I guess you've got the same guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get more comfortable with the O-line, but because you just bonded over the years, and you have some great memories, and you build some great relationships with those guys. But also you get used to more of the speed, and then we have great defensive linemen that we go up against every day. We're lucky to be able to compete against them every day, and but you do get used to it more and more, and then you can focus on yourself more, and in comparison to when you come in as a rookie and you're like, oh shit, this is my bad. Sorry. this is like the quickest and strongest guy I've ever gone up against.
So the Denver game, your first game, I mean, you had to think
right.
double or shit.
Right. I mean, it's always it's definitely a hard transition, and first start is always something different, and yeah, you get more comfortable, you settle in, it makes it easier.
How have you learned how to handle the positive, the negative, the outside commentary? Because coming from Austria, not really playing a lot of high school football, big time high school football, then going to the MAC where there's not as much media attention, handling all that as part of the position.
Right. I mean, that's a big difference too. I mean, as you mentioned, you don't have that media coverage, but you still make mistakes. You made mistakes back then, and you make mistakes now. But now, every time you do make a mistake, that you got to pay for it. That mistake is getting taken advantage of. Those defensive linemen are too good to let them get a step ahead of you or something. So it's definitely stressful, but being able to rely on the guys, relying on your coach, and then also in your private life relying on a wife and friends outside the building as well makes the whole thing go, because if you can't keep your mental strong, the physical can't hold up out on the field.
Is JJ in the doghouse now for taking a shot at the MAC?
a little bit. I mean,
that was pretty aggressive.
Yeah. I chose just to ignore it, but the Tuesday night game in Mount Pleasant does get a little rowdy now.
But now, what's been your early impression, I guess, from an offensive perspective of Laiatu Latu?
I mean, he's a great guy. Meeting him in the locker room, he was just happy to be here. He just loves to see it as a vet, someone that really appreciates being a Colt and loves being here and loves working out. And then now these last couple of weeks, getting into phase 3 now, actually playing football, you can just see why he got drafted so high, why he was the first defensive guy taken. He's highly skilled. He's quick. He's strong, and I think he's gonna make an impact immediately. But you can still see he's still learning every single day, and he's a mistake that he made last week, he's not making again this week. So I think he's definitely gonna be an impact player.
What's been the benefit of having Q to your right all the time?
I mean, that's just huge. The communication, on the field, for me personally, it's huge because I'm next to him, but also his leadership as a whole for the entire offensive line. And just that consistency, I know where he's going to be in pass protection. I know how he's going to step in the run game. I know how I have to fit in double teams with him, to move the defensive tackle. And that just makes my game that much easier. So it's a blessing to have him.
What's it been like having AR back and just obviously trying to build and grow with him?
I mean, it's huge. Obviously, Gardner did a great job last year stepping in, but AR, he was always working. Even last year, he never lost touch with the guys. He was in here, he was working, he was in the training room, he did everything he could to get back. And now to have him back, like to just see that as a teammate, you just appreciate that. And then now he's on the field, like fully back, and he looks phenomenal. So from what I can tell, I mean, I don't know much about quarterback play, but he completes his passes and he runs fast, so like that's always good. I don't know about the footwork itself, but it looks sweet. So it's awesome to have him back.